the Archangel Michael's jet at the beach. Yes, we are at the beach. Now, can you hear me? That is good. We are on a little bit earlier than what I was going to do. But that's alright. I'm not going to be on long. I don't have the right setup. I've got to hold it. And I don't want to hold it for hours and hours. So, I'll just do the Lord's Prayer, a few little things, and that will be the end of that. But we are at the beach. Maybe I should give you a little tour. Well, as you can see, I'm on a pretty secluded beach. No one around but me. For about a mile up that way and a mile down that way. Hello, Kiki Eyes. How are you? I am sitting down at the beach at the moment. Sitting down on the beach by myself. It's quite desolate. No one here. So, how are you? I won't be on long tonight. Just do the Lord's Prayer, have a little chat, and that's about it. Yes, I will see. I will show you. Oh, there we go. There we go. When I lived in Florida, I loved the beach. Oh, yes. Yes, that's the one beauty thing about Australia. We've got miles and miles of beach. I like the beach down in Esperance. It's pure white. It has the most silicon any beach in the world has. And it's pure white. And when you walk along it, it squeaks. It goes bit, 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 bit every time you walk on it. It's very funny. But you don't go swimming in that water there. There's all baby white pointers, great whites, and the mums there too, down that way. But yes, it's a very freaky beach. I like it. It's pure white. And it squeaks when you walk on it. So, down at the beach, I got a bit of contemplation, my own personal problems. And well, I come down to the ocean a lot because it sorts a lot of problems out. We come back down near the waters of life. I'm next to Rockingham, which is on the other side of one of our military bases, or Navy bases, next to the main grain terminal. So there's lots of fish out there and sharks swimming around. It's very calm actually, it's very flat. It's quite interesting. Not quite cool and not quite hot. I don't know if you'll go in the water though. Not here. You went in the water here. Give it about 20 minutes. You won't be found again. Not this water. It's pretty deep. It goes deep very quickly. It's got a grain ship right there now being filled up with grain. So that'll be all the fish around there grabbing the grain that's falling off and all the sharks grabbing them. So it is actually a good beach for shark fishing. Very good beach for shark fishing. We don't keep the sharks. We don't kill them. We catch them and then we release them. We can't really eat sharks. Maybe the little small ones we might keep and cut them up for fish and chips. But usually it's just for fun and we release them back in the ocean. I don't believe you should kill anything unless you are going to eat it. Oh, yeah. Kiki eyes. If I can't see the bottom, I don't go in. Yes, believe it or not, I've been in some very, very deep places. But I get that too when I'm swimming around and I look around and I can't see the bottom. You get that panic. Just around the corner here, about 8 k's down around the corner, at a place called Point Perrin. Has this nice reefs next to a Penguin Island and Seal Island. And I was scuba diving down there with a friend from Czechoslovakia when it existed. And he was teaching me how to dive. We actually got trapped about 35 foot down for about 15 minutes as a tiger shark swam back and forth, getting closer and closer. So we wasn't sure whether we should go up until he went away. But yes, that was a very scary time. And you know what? I've never been scuba diving again. I've jumped off the front of the Lewin sail training ship up near Steep Point in between Dirt Harcard Island and Steep Point. And I tell you right now, there's some of the biggest sharks you can possibly get right there. But being silly, swinging off the rope, having fun, not thinking. But at any time, any one of us could have been taken. It's just you have to have that risk factor. Being too intelligent sometimes, you don't want to take the risk. But I understand that. I don't like going in the water if I can't see the bottom. I don't know what's in there. I give you the tip. That's why I know if I went in this water, it wouldn't take long. I just have to walk out. Probably only ankle deep. Really, only ankle deep. Sit there with a torch in my hand, and in about 5 minutes' time, I turn the torch on, and you will see all these big fish, and maybe even a little shark swimming around, coming closer. Maybe even a big shark. As long as that shark has water over its gills, and it feels like it won't get beached, that shark will come right up, like you wouldn't imagine. Yes, a different type of fishing, shark fishing. You have to have the right gear, or it just ruins all your gear. Well, it's about time for the Lord's Prayer. I did bring it to read me. I'll get it out. Oh, otros. Aha. Okay. I can get the place where I can read it. Read it. I get this. Oh, now I can't read anything. This is crazy. Okay. Are we ready? Okay, for the Lord's Prayer. Archangel Michael down at the beach. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. And there we go. We got God in charge of the day. He's in charge of the chat. You can sit back and relax. But it's night time, so there's no girls walking around with bikinis, so I can't really relax, can I? No, I shouldn't be like that. That's why I come down at the night, so it's just me and the ocean and God. You say it with me, that's excellent. If you say it along with me, or even if you follow, but even if you listen, it counts. It does count. Yes, well, to tell you the truth, I was going to do something very silly indeed, and I'm not sure whether I still will or not. I am having a bit of an issue, a bit of a personal issue about, when you go through trying to love someone and then they betray you time and time and time again, till you get to a point now where you really want to trust them, but you can't. And then when you reach out to talk to them, they're never there. Strange that. Put all the money, effort, and time to invest in a person and get nothing in return. It's pretty harsh. It's pretty harsh, right? Very harsh, actually. Yes. I wonder what they're doing over there at the island, the military island. They're doing a lot of work there. Down over there, over that bridge, going on to Garden Island there. They've got things hidden under that island like you wouldn't imagine. There's a big giant. Oh, well, how could I say? Under that island there, it's like Area 51. It goes down under the ocean. And after World War II, they built a big hyperbaric chamber inside it. So submarines can go under through a cave and come up inside the island without anyone knowing. But the American nuclear submarines are too big for it. So they come in the regular way through the front door. But they say we are not a nuclear war-bearing nation. They say we don't have nuclear weapons. We have a few of those Tomahawk missiles, but they're not nuclear tipped. I don't know about that. I kind of think there's some ammunition in there, and there's nuclear. Very strange, that place. There was a UFO. It was on the news about 8 years ago at the back of the island, and it's got an automatic defense system on it. With two of these big, huge Gatling guns come up and fire thousands and thousands of rounds a minute. They fired something like 100,000 rounds each at this thing and never even touched it. So a lot of strange things happen over there at that island. That island there is the tail of the crocodile. And Karnak Island in the middle is a little spot on his back. And Rottnest Island is the head of the crocodile. Now, if you look from an aerial view at those three islands and you see the sandbar that exists between them, you will see it is the shape of a massive crocodile. Exactly the shape of a massive crocodile. And Rottnest Island is its head above the water, breathing. The Woggle come through the Swan River and broke through and broke the crocodile's back. Now, that was the way they would explain it, in the tribal way, in the old ways. But geologically, one could say that rainbow serpent was a rush of water that came from the inland sea of Australia, flowed down through and flooded the plain that used to exist between the mainland and those islands, and created what they say the serpent broke the crocodile's back. And that's probably what would have happened. Please have respect in the chat. Grow up. I have grown up. I am 50 years of age. I wear this for YouTube. This is no childish act. You see this at your door, You're in a lot of trouble with God. This is no joke. And thank you, Kiki Eyes. Give them the warning. 1, 2, 3. They keep going. They have to go. I don't want my captain, my lieutenant, being upset. Yes, growing up. That's a good one. I'm that mature that it actually sickens me. I have to go and play with my children to try and stop being so mature. Some of the things I've got to do. I've got a task no man on earth has got. I literally can say I'm one man that has to go and face a dragon. How about that? I actually go and have to tame a dragon. That's really spun out. I like that. Not many men in the world can say that. And with confidence. People look at me and say, oh, you're crazy. No such thing. You want to bet? It's exactly like they say in the legends. So much so it scared me. Still scares me. Yes, but one day I will have to go and see him. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. I just have to get my mum to look after the kids for 40 days so I can go out, do a bit of gold prospecting, earn some real money. Hopefully find enough gold I don't have to work at all. That would be nice. It would be very nice. It would be very good. I've been out there before, made a living off finding gold. Depends on how much you want a year. I find it hard when I hear these people. One say, I'm on 200,000 a year, and she's on 180,000 a year, and we're struggling. What? That's unbelievable. Seriously, they're struggling on $300,000 a year. That's what people live beyond their means. They want. I want it now. That spoiled brat attitude. I know a few people like that. I want it now. Suk, suk, suk. And they go out and get it. For what? For who? For what betterment? Because you want it? Because it's the latest thing? Because McDonald's got that latest meal out that you have to go and get it? Ridiculous. You like to try new things, but not at the expense of living beyond one's means. And a lot of people do. I find it very strange when you're cruising down the road. You see all these young ones that never had a job in their life. You know their parents are all druggies, so they've got no money. Yet they're cruising around on one of those $6,000 electric scooters with a $3,000 iPhone and about $800 worth of clothes on. Makes you wonder where this money's coming from. People could say drugs and stealing. Yes, well, that's got a big part to do with it. But I wonder how they get through life, seem to not worry about looking for a job every day. They've got more, better stuff than what I've got. I've got more, but they've got better stuff. The latest stuff, the most expensive. And yet they've never worked a day in their life. And then when you go tell them to work, oh, they put more effort into putting up any excuse why they can't work than actually it would take to do the work. It's crazy. I've done some of the craziest jobs. Digging shit. Literally, digging shit. Shit shoveler. All kinds of things. To dealing with quarantine and customs and imports and exports. Moving some of the strangest things you can possibly imagine. Yes, I've done quite a few spun out jobs all around. I haven't really travelled out of Australia. I've had no need to. It's beautiful here. Like I said, so calm here. Moon shining across the ocean. No one's bothering me here for miles and miles. But this is Kwinana Beach. Rockingham Beach is just up there where the lights are. At Kwinana Beach, well, there is a gang that knocks around, but they usually knock around on the weekends. They haven't done it for a while, but they're the type of gang that, well, a guy like me sitting here quiet, they'd walk up with a cup of kerosene, chuck that on you, and light you up, just for fun. It's been about 9 years since they've done that one. So you have to be careful where you go. Some crazy people out there, and just like that, they just chuck it on you for no reason, chuck a match on you, just to watch it for fun. I don't think watching anyone burn and screaming is any type of fun, really, even if I was very angry at that person. No, you shall not kill. We don't torture either. We can punish, but we don't torture. We don't be like them, twisted and evil, doing the wrong thing. Well, all I know is the sun's getting a bit cold on my bum, but that's all right. I'm going to be like the old wives tell. Oh, didn't your old mom tell you? If you sit on the cold concrete or sand, you'll get piles. It's possibly true. It's possibly true. Ah, yes. No, it's sad. Yes, it is very sad. Very sad indeed. It's sad, Kiki eyes. When you put all your effort into somebody, a lady, she promises you everything in the world, and then right in front of your face, she gets engaged to another man. Kind of what I'm facing about now. What I'm thinking about is kind of binding me. If I could fix that problem, I can go on with this mission. I could freely go out there, but at the moment, it's putting me in a bit of depressive moment, depressive mood. Find myself sitting there thinking like the deep thinker. But I'll get through it. I hope. But like I said, there's an ocean over there full of sharks. Just have to walk out about 10 minutes. You won't never see me again. And it would have to be that way, unfortunately, in the end. If I can't get these things where I need them by using that dragon, well, I'm going to have to find another way of hiding them. And maybe that saying, where Satan, while looking for these things, will dig up all the earth and drain the oceans. Or maybe that's what we have to do. Because unless he found out which shark bit it off me, well, he's going to be a long time looking for where that shark shit is. And something like that will stay on that shark until the shark died. And then maybe a bigger shark will come along and eat that. So who knows? It could be inside a belly forever, like I want it to be. That way it could never be found. And life will always go on. And no matter what happens with the war of heaven and hell, life will always continue. See, that's my part of the mission. Jesus is going to do a lot of the saving. He's going to fight too. You're going to be quite surprised at that man when he comes out, when he finally comes, if you're around when he does. But my mission is to set up the stage. That's all I'm here to do. If I can find a way to put those inside where I need to go, that's it. My mission is complete. Until the next one. I think there might be a next one. Because if I do that, that will bind me to the rest of the end of that book. And I have to be careful. Very careful. Because there will come a time when I will come across Satan. I will face him. And we'll end up having a competition. And I have to be careful. Because in that chat were two men in the desert. Well, it's a bit tricky. Whoever does the wrong thing by the bet that we're going to do, they'll be the ones that turn into the dragon. I hope to turn him into it in front of the whole world's eyes. Then he could see him for himself. But he's very crafty. He could trick me, and I may turn into the dragon, and I will be the one that will be chased. Very tricky. People don't believe me. People think, oh, you're crazy. How could this be so? You don't have wings. I keep telling you, Satan installed that bullshit imagery into your heads. That's the image. That's imagery. The church did that. Satan installed that in the church. Put them angels up like that, this year, like that. So when they do come along, they won't believe them. And that is what has been done from day dot. And I will not say allegedly. This is all true. This is all true. None of them have come yet to face me. None of them will. I know it might seem a bit scary, but it's time. It's time. People have been waiting for centuries for the coming. People have been waiting for centuries for this to come to an end, or at least get to a part where we know where we are. Well, it's here now. I don't want it to be. Do you think I want to do this? No. Hell no. There's a potential on this crossroads. I walk out into the ocean now. Let these sharks take it, take me. They have to take me too, because that's the thing. What I have in my head is just as dangerous as these stones. So when they go, I've got to go. When I go, that's it. The information goes to me. I will not be passing it on. What I know and what I have must stay out of man's hands for all eternity. Oh. Man is just too irresponsible. You already have the power to destroy yourselves in your hands. Why would I give you another device to do such a thing? And this one will do it far worse. And it's far smaller. And it's not made out of any high grade uranium or anything like that. It's just a small pill with a bit of dormant life in it. And the spirit and the soul that it has, well, it's the harvester. And kill 3 billion people in its current state. Can you imagine that? You've got something in your pocket that literally can kill whoever you wanted to. So powerful that like I said, I just have to show it. And I do a picture, send it out in the newspaper and flyers all around the street. That's as good as the thing, the stone being right there. That is very evil, very cruel, but it would work. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm supposed to walk out there to get rid of it. But I'm supposed to go and finally chase this dragon down, which I'm actually afraid to do. If I was an angel, I would never be afraid, but I'm a man. Now, I have seen one of the spare ones, because there are other big lizards out there. Now, his mother and father, well, they're megalodania. They're prehistoric. You won't be able to stop them. They just think you as food. Nunjan, he can be spoken to. He's special. He's like a dragon. You can speak to him. He's knowledgeable. And he's cunning, like a bush magician. But there's 4 others. 4 other ones that live along the Yukla, along the Nullarbor Plain, in between Norseman and where South Australia is, or Yukla, on the border of South Australia and West Australia. We was going along there when I was 8 years old. We was going to Adelaide. Mum had just taken over the car at Norseman. We just filled up the tank because there's no petrol station from there to get to South Australia. So you need a lot of jerry cans. Now cars are a bit different. It was the old style road wasn't fully the big graded road like it is now. When you had a truck or a vehicle coming the other way, you had to get half on, half off. So you had to let them pass. So it's a bit of gravel that traveling. We're driving along. My mom's driving. We're in the back seat. And us kids noticed this massive lizard that crossed the entire road. Now, my mother, being a Greek woman, she said to my father, who was having a little nap, she says, "Oh, Splinter," because that was his nickname, Splinter. She said, "Oh, Splinter, I didn't know you had crocodiles out here." And being where it was at the bottom of Australia, in the middle of the desert, oh man, there's no crocodiles there. I can give you a tip. The old man said, "Don't be silly, woman. There's no crocodiles out here." And he looked up and he said, "Oh my God, but that's a pretty big lizard, though." He said, "I wonder what that's doing out. He's supposed to be asleep." Because my father, he thought that was the father one with the mother, but he didn't realize it was a spare. So we drove up close, and this thing, we could have all rode on its back or all rode in its belly. Okay, it was bigger than the car. It's something like I've never seen. Not that big. That was a massive one. Probably about 2.5 tons. Right? So that was Megalodania right there. And the old man, he thought it might have been the sun, the special one. Until the tongue come out, and it was a big long tongue, like a regular bangara. So I said, "No, you're not one, you're one of the spare ones." And then he said, "Kids, wind down your window." So we wound down the window, and that thing moved his head around and looked at us very quickly. And started licking his lips, and he said, "Oh, now you better go. You better go, wife, because he's got the taste for these children now, and he'll gulp them down." And he started turning around, this big creature, looking at us, licking his lips, because he would have eaten us. Because he was primitive. He's a primitive mind, that one. And so we said to Dad, because we know that he used to catch the bangaras and lizards, we said, "Dad, why don't you get that one? Why don't?" He said, "I can't kill that one. Gee, I hit that with a tail lever, it'll bounce off and kill me." Said, "A bit too big to eat that one." But yes, there was 4 along there. They're still there, unless the government rounded them up, which is a likability, because they are a little, even though they are primitive, they're not quite as strong as Nunjan is. Nunjan is something else. The people out there talk of an earthquake going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's the creature running up and down as they chase him with helicopters. Yes, he's a real creature. He's not supposed to be awake for 3,000 years. 30 years ago, Uncle Albert come with his sons and a few of the Marawanga young men. They said, "Oh, Splinter, we want you to show us where those special tasty bangaras are, the real tasty ones." The secret of that was those bangaras, well, they were cannibals. That's why they taste so juicy. The men were getting in and stealing the wives' eggs and eating them. That's what they were up to. So the old man, he knew where they were, those cannibal ones that eat their own. So he took them to that spot, which is not far from where the son was buried up, near the nickel mine near Kalgoorlie. And as he was bending over, looking in the hole, coaching the bangara out, they all sung out. All these black fellas, black as the ace of spades. My old man was the only fair guy there, right? And they all took off. And it was my Uncle Albert was the only one that turned around and said, "Splinter, behind you." Because out there they were only speaking language, so that was the first English spoke for the day. And my dad, being a funny character, he said, "What's behind me? Something going to rape me?" Well, he wasn't far from the truth. I can give you a tip. So he stood up, he turned around, and he seen this monstrous, very skinny, because it was very skinny at this time. It was abnormally looking, actually, how skinny it was. But it was massive. He shit. Now all those people, they say, "Oh, he had no fear, this man, he had no fear. He had fear, all right. It froze him stiff." He admitted that to me. He said, "Oh, Michael, I didn't know what to do. I was looking at this thing, you know, but I realized he was only still soft. I could hit him with my worry. I could kill him." So he started speaking. Hey, Nunjan, he started, because the creature come at him like that, started to come at him. Because it only just woke up out of the egg, so it was like a chicken. Then my father said, Wah, Nunjan. And he said in language, yeah, you're still soft. You're not hard yet. I can kill you. You've got to get back in your egg. That lizard stopped and turned like that. And it imprinted on my father. You understand? He imprinted on my father like a chicken does his mother. Okay? But my father, he had blue eyes. I looked very similar to him, but he had blue eyes, and he also knew the old language that you could use to speak to that one. I only knew a few words. He knew the full language. Okay? So, he told her to go back. I'll put you back in your egg. Go along there, we'll come along. And all these other men were turning around to each other and say, oh my God, he's like Dr. Doolittle talking to this animal. So they go back to where it was, this egg. Now this egg, well, it's pretty large. It's about the size of an interior of a car. And it weighs probably about 300 kilos, if not more, because he's a big creature. Now inside, that's not a yolk. It's like a stomach acid. This is a very special egg. It gets nutrients from the ground. And he can hear through that egg. That's how he's been taught. So when I took him back, I got there, and I seen him swimming around in his egg with 3 or 4 slivers of the shell on the ground, about the size of a man's leg. My father, he went up to him, he looked at them, and he said, you don't know what to do you? And I looked at him now, he says, well, I'll show you. And he picked up the dirt, and he breathed in it 4 times, the 4 breaths of life, the 4 winds. And he started rubbing the dirt on the inside of the shell. And then he put the shell back on, he put the pieces back on. There was three or 4 pieces. He put them back on, put them together. And he got the earth, blew in the earth 4 times, started rubbing it over, and he kept repeating that. Before all their eyes, that egg healed. There was still a mark where it had been broken, but it was healed. Okay? And when he was singing to it, they thought my dad was singing a lullaby, kind of. He was actually teaching it, because they didn't know the feminine language that he was speaking. They spoke Matawanga. He spoke Wilgan, so it was different language, different lingo. And there's a more effeminate one. So he was telling it in that egg. He said, you're supposed to stay in here. I don't want you to come up. If you get up, you're not allowed to hurt man. You can kill him to get him out your way, but you can't eat him. Man's not the pest. You're supposed to look after us, and then we will look after you. But I tell you now, unless it's me, unless it's your time, they try to get you out of your egg. You find yourself out of your egg, you keep running, and you don't stop for anybody. And that's what happened. Going on about 12, 13 years ago now. Some of those men grew up, got greedy, money, again. And that deal, like they say, like, oh, signing that bit of life away. They all sign their life away with the government. This is secrets that their own secrets, their own secrets. They tried doing this to me, and I said, no. Why should I sign a piece of paper that gives you control over my secrets? They're my secrets. You don't own my secrets. But if you sign that bit of paper, they will. So, some of those that are so-called elders, I should punish them. I class them as not even an elder's shit by selling their culture like that. And they did. 157 elders. These are people that all play like they're from the bush. They all sit there and they actually tell stories. Gee, we wish we had that first guy. Even between all of us, 157, we can't even work out what the first guy. The first guy was my father. Okay, they can't recreate what he did. Yet they're all as black as the ace of spades. Yes, so it broke out, and they've been chasing it ever since. When it broke out, it was still fairly skinny, a little bit thicker. It took him long to get to about 2 ton. At the moment, she is about 8.5, 9 ton. That's a massive creature. It's about 40 foot, 50 foot long from head to tail. To run straight through a tank. They killed 3 people. They put people that thought they could do the same thing as my father. They just grabbed them. They grabbed them. This is how big it is. The mouth went down over the head, across the chest, and the same at the back. It's just come up and clamped over him and picked him up and shook him around like you see they do with those snakes in the documentaries. But to see, the thing is, he's a megalodania as well as a special one. They're poisonous. Parentis and goannas are poisonous. Okay? They got poison in them. So, whether that man survived having his back snapped up and that, which he didn't, he would have died very quickly from the poison. Because the fangs on that guy, the fangs on the megalodania, and the fangs on Nunjan are exactly the same size as a T-Rex. So about 5 inches. You know? And who knows? He's a special one. How do we know he can't retract them? How do we know he can't make them bigger? The difference with him is his tongue. He's got a very short, little blue fat tongue. Okay, little short blue fat tongue. He's like almost like a bobtail lizard, that one. He doesn't have a normal tongue. And underneath, like I said, there's a she. It's got both parts going. He can breed with himself. He has 3 ways of breeding because it has a pouch as well. Okay? What it does, this is the ones that they've been catching, the drones. They call them carters. Right, the drones. They're males. All males. He's only been breeding males. Right? And he could hatch them males directly from a womb inside him. He doesn't have to lay an egg. He lays a little embryo. And they hatch. And they crawl up inside the pouch. And they sustagenate until they get to about, I don't know, about 50 centimeters long. Okay? And as he's running along, that creature will jump out of the pouch and go and hide on a tree. Next time when he runs through there, that creature will run up and go up into the pouch and sustagenate some more and grow some more. See, most monitor lizards, and Nunjan is no different, have 2 penises. Okay? So he's got 2 penises. He's got a vagina, 2 penises, and a pouch. He's got an egg sac, and he's got a womb. So he's got a lot of things going on, that creature. He's got a lot of things going on. He's very special, very unique. Very unique. Okay? So those drones, they get to a stage where they no longer can go into his pouch. Well, you know what he does? Because he's transgender. He's both sexes, but he's a top. He won't let no one ride him, but he rides everything else. Including like when he come up behind my father, well, he could have raped him. Dragons do that. Haven't you never heard that there? Dragons taking away the maidens? It's real. It really is real. That's scary. That's one of the things I'm scared about. It's not so much going out there and him ripping me up. It's him raping me. I don't want to get raped by a big dragon. My goodness. That's terrifying. And he's like that too. He's like a big lustful man. It's crazy, crazy. But those drones, well, this is where he comes in with his penises. Now, he's not breeding with them. They can't breed. They don't even have penises themselves. They've just got a cloaca. But he puts both those penises in him and he inseminates them. And that insemination makes them grow to as big as he does. But there's also something else going on. He is mimicking our digital technology in a biological way. That's what his job is. He's been listening through that through the ground. You know, all the people there on that mine, he's been listening to all this technology, right? So he adapts. He adapts along with us. He does it in a biological way, though. So that makes them grow. But he also downloads information of things that he's seen into that semen, or whatever he's doing, and injecting it into him, and vice versa. Whatever that creature has seen there, the memory goes into him. So they're downloading and uploading information to themselves through their sexual organs. That's very unique. Okay? And he's doing that nonetheless. Now these drones, they've been capturing them. They're a little bit easier to capture. They're not as strong as him. They're not as impenetrable as him. Okay? Tiny bit more docile. And they've been training them once. Now, I don't know whether you remember these pictures, but these pictures all were out there of that space, that American Space Force that you got. Well, there was a picture there once. We had 3 people standing in spacesuits and a big white lizard in front of them in a spacesuit. You remember that? That's what I'm talking about. That's one of the drones. That's one of the drones. I'm sure people remember that. They took all down. Very smart. But they did have that picture out. Like they were flaunting me. It's crazy. Very crazy. Yes. Well. And they've been chasing it ever since. Now, the other way they don't want him to do is lay eggs. Because he can breed with himself and he's got to go back to that nickel belt to lay those eggs. He's got to go back to his home area. And they keep him away from that. Because those eggs, if he lays them, they'll be females. Right? And they can breed. And he'll breed with them. And then he'll make a whole new race. Instead of just breeding himself. Okay? Now, before they actually got an idea where he'd been running up and down for 2 years before they got all the military out there actually chasing him full on. So they got a bead on him. And during that time, he had seeded all the dams along the Darling Range. There's 2 or 3 drones there. I've got some of the footage on here, out at Wongong Dam. There's still 2 getting around there. About 2 ton, only small ones. So that means he hasn't been through there for a while to inseminate them. And I'm worried about that. Because man is ingenious. He can run and run. But man is very ingenious. He can catch that creature if he's smart enough. And he can use some sort of laser to penetrate that impenetrable skin. See, in Legend, the only thing that can penetrate it is the spearhead in my pocket. But man is ingenious. If they got hold of that, well, that won't be Satan getting hold of Pale Horse. That'll be man getting hold of Pale Horse. And he'll manipulate that into a weapon. I've got to tell you now, there's a lot more forces than just God and Satan running here. There's many forms of evil, and man's one of them. A lot of evil women, too. Like I said, they want to try and cut Satan and God out of the deal and do it for their own selves. We have that ability. That's part of what this game is all about. That's why it's left in man's hands, this fate. It's up to us to work it out for God. He's put his faith in us that we're going to do this. So, we won't be blaming God if we stuff this up. That means the human race stuffed up, we killed God. We'll be responsible for that. Then we'll become the most hated people in all of the galaxy. And that's a fact. No, evil has too many more pieces on the board than us. Satan has more pieces than us. He's got way more angels. Man has got more pieces than God. A lot of evil out there. A lot of evil wants to topple God. A lot. The churches are corrupt. I've already rebuked them. The world has already had its first rebuke. You don't realize this. It says in that book you get 3 rebukes. I've given you one already. I rebuked all the churches in the way they teach about God. And that's exactly one of the rebukes. Oh, I'm sorry whether that scares anyone or not, but that's my job. I'm sick of the tyranny. I'm sick of the evil running the world. I'm sick of being poor, struggling, trying to get through, only to have all the effort, money that you put into someone. They promise you the world. Never even show up at the airport. Leave you there like an idiot, standing there staring, wondering how ugly and pathetic you must be for them not to have come, and how stupid you were to believe them that they were. One of the worst things that could ever happen to a man, Put all his effort and love, go to the airport to wait for her, diamond necklace, and no one comes through that gate. No excuse why. Basically, just took the money and run. Yes, well, that's me. That's what happened. I've had the worst thing can happen to a man. Happened to me twice. I watched my loved one die in front of me, and nothing I could do about it. And get stood up like the biggest dickhead in the world at the airport. You know? And I've got to try and save man. Well, I don't feel like saving anyone after that. I really don't. Hi, Spartanburg, how are you going? How do you teach us wrong? They teach us wrong, yes, because the true knowledge and power is power that went from the soul. That's correct. To control the information is to control the power. See, when they first invented the CIA, that was supposed to be the, Central Intelligence Agency, set up to know about what other governments are doing around the world. But when they started thinking about intelligence, that's everything. Intelligence is knowing the hairs on a fly's arsehole, knowing how many grains of sand on a beach, what's inside those grains of sand, how they're made up. Intelligence is everything that is knowledgeable on the planet. If you control that, you control the planet. You can rewrite whatever story you want. That's like the first thing I would say to any of those religious people, even the ones with the old scrolls and all that, that come up to me. I'd shoot them straight down in flames. They say, oh, this and that, and they try to quote me. The moment they try to quote me their stinking book, I say, okay, look at the front page, look at the back page. What's to say there? That's your Messiah, that printing company. That's not God. That's a printing company. But that's your Messiah. Okay? Oh my God. The size of that mosquito was unbelievable. my goodness, a beach mosquito. Oh, we have to go and see if we can find him. That was big. Where are you? Oh my goodness, where are you going? Where are you? Oh, he's gone away. That was a huge one. He would have sucked the blood right out of me, that one. My goodness. I'm glad I've got the truck pants in the truck because they'd probably be eating me alive. Especially now. A little bit damp along the beach. Very quiet now, very calm. Yes. There are some that are in the church that want to teach you right, but they can't. I haven't heard much about that new Pope election one. Well, if you were in Jag's chat before, how she was saying about insurance. That's how they select the Pope. Did you not know this? It's not about the parish that they run. It's not about how many souls that they've saved, even how many people that are under him in their parish. No, it's about how much insurance policies they've sold. God's an insurance policy. They sell insurance in God. They also own several companies that are not even part of the Vatican, but they are insurance companies. The Vatican's biggest money earner is insurance, not God. Insurance. They own insurance companies. Okay? They're in the position, that's their job, providing you insurance through God. You understand that? And if you some people use their insurance company, well, it's got a bit of godness to it, so it should be good. But that's what it is. Oh, that Pope, he got elected. Why? Oh, he sold $65 million worth of insurance. No other one's done that. We'd have to elect him. That's how it's elected. That bullshit process, you see? So bullshit. It's actually all bullshit. It's about dollars. They come in, they're waiting for the figures to come in. See who's earned what, who's brought in what to the church. It's about who's raked in the most money. That's who becomes the Pope. You understand? That's how they work out the Pope. All this bullshit you've told is bullshit. If you actually went in and followed what the Catholic Church does, they actually believe in the all-seeing spider in a web. That's their God. Their actual vision of God is a big female spider. You really want to get into the Vatican teachings? You really want to get into the Catholic teachings? Okay? They are like the CIA. Go around collecting shit and hiding it. The CIA used the Smithsonian Institute a lot. That's the type of institute will go out and find those giant skeletons. Only to say, I don't know what happened to them. They disappeared. Don't know where they went. That's one thing in America you should do. You should investigate the Smithsonian Institute. They should be opening up their vaults and tell you everything that they have and everything that they got. They are not a government, so you can. That's just it. But whether they release that information? Oh, of course they will not. It's as silly as that. Like that movie. What was it? Paranormal Activity. Oh, and my Mrs. Kelly, when she was alive, she had come out. She said, oh, we've got to go and see that. It's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be real. And I just shook my head, closed my eyes, looked up to God. So I'll tell her when we're in the movie, I guess. So we're in the movie, and we're seeing all these footprints on the ground. Just no ghost there, but it's making footprints on the ground. It's walking around the dust. I turned around to her and I said, you know, this is all bullshit. She said, oh, but it's so real. And even the people in front of me, what do you mean it's real? It's real. I said, no, it's not real. It's fucking far from real. I said, I tell you right now, there's not a government in the world, not a government in the world, not a government in the world that would allow that movie to be released if it was real. Okay? Because that proves that there is a God, there is a Satan, there is a devil, there is a heaven. That proves all your science. Chucks the science right out the door. Okay? So they'll never ever expose that one. Why do you think God is not allowed in your schools? They don't want you making the connections. That's like on YouTube. You're not allowed to say sexual assault, rape, or pedophile. I don't care. I told them I say that there because they're the connection words. And you can't face the evil unless you can place the evil. Unless you can use the words to make the connections, how are the kids going to make the connections to place and face the evil? That's all designed for this next wave of Satan, the pedophilia wave. That's part of his agenda, that one. The sexual twisting of lives and the way minds think. Now, I know we live in a world of equal opportunity, but Satan laughs at this one. He says to himself, oh, gee, I fucking destroyed this sex of these fucking humans, and I'm loving it. And they are making laws to bind them. And people have got it in their minds, that's the way it should be. Oh, he's that evil. He's got men around the world thinking they're women. Women around the world thinking they're men. And then he's got other ones thinking they're no sex at all. You think that one. And he laughs at that. He loves that. That's his little creation, that one. You can keep thinking, saying what you are, I believe, that's what I feel. You do now. He's indoctrinated that into the human race. But it's his design nonetheless. Like I said, we live in a world of tolerance and acceptance. This is one of the best qualities of humans. And I have no problem with people being in love, regardless of what sex they are. But I do want to save your soul. I don't want you to burn. And whether you like to change it in your mind just because you can change it in the rules and that around you, and the way that we function, the way that we do things, you will never be able to change God. But they got it in their mind that they can. They got it in their mind, no, God's going to change because we want him to. We have to. We got no information. The reason why we're this way, we'll go and scream and bark in the street because that's all the information and all the backing that we have ever got, right? And what we're going to pull out, love. Oh, love. No, that's not love. That's lust, for a start. Okay? I'm sorry, but it is. It's true. Like my father used to say, he feels very sorry for him. And I said, why is that, Dad? He said, well, they're sexual beings. They have to think their sexuality up. He said, you get up in the morning. You know that you're a man. You know that you're a boy. You know your name's Michael. You have no problem. They do. They got to get up every morning and think that. Okay? Nothing better than the one I seen. You know? One on Dr. Phil. A lady. She was a lady. Looked like a boy, but she was a lady. Wanted to be a man. Wanted to be signified as a man. So what's it going to do? Mutilates itself by cutting his breast off for a start. That's self-mutilation. I don't give a fuck what you say. That's self-mutilation, okay? Right? So it's gone, that's crazy for a start. You go and cut your own breast off, okay? That's like cutting your nose off to spite your face. Okay, it's crazy. That's crazy thinking. That's a mental person. That's not good. It's not bettering them. It's not giving what they want. That's following a mental case's delusional dream. And we've made it a law and a reality. The delusional dreams of mental cases can run fucking rampant all over the world. So when the world shits itself and starts fucking dying and burning and that, blame yourselves. Blame every cunt around you. But blame yourself mainly, right? Because you're the ones that let this woke shit happen. You're the ones that let this perversion of sex happen. You're the ones that let it roll. Okay? You just want to vote for this. You want that. I want this. I want that. Start working yourself out. Oh, you'll be responsible, right? Yes, responsible for killing the entire human race and putting it under the yoke of Satan. And I don't care no more because this is a fact. You've got to start getting it right. Start looking at the bigger picture. You can't just change it because you want to change it. What gives demons love is not love. It's a mental lust. Lust is turned to what's lust is sin. So that's it. Satan's got you sinning again. And you think it's a good thing. But you're sinning. And when you get up to heaven, you're going to find that out. And if you're still going to stomp around up there and think you're going to be woke up there, you'll get this fucking big lever put on you and you'll fall into a pit of flame quicker than you can blink. It'll be all over for you and your bullshit fucking way. Now, my son, he's exactly the same. Big, useless fucking 34-year-old sits there smelling like an ass and a fucking spit in the room as a gamer. I'm just about ready to upend him, drag him out the room with a steel rake. Pathetic. Defying the fields of gravity, where the sweat runs up the walls. Now, I taught him way better than that, but he's been living with his nana, and she's enabled him like that. So, that's the thing. And he's got a mind like, oh, my goodness. My goodness. Well, I'm sorry. People got to start getting it right. I'm not against anyone and what they believe, but I will tell them whether it's wrong or not. Okay? They can believe it. That's not my fault. I'm not going to save your soul. That's your own problem. I'm not one of these preachers that comes down, save, save. I'll tell you the point. I'll tell you the straightness. You don't like it? Tough titties. When you get up to heaven, you're still going to whinge and carry on. You'll be in the flames. Simple as that. You get no second chance. Right? You go up there and start whinging like you do down here with your body for your sexual shit, for your racial shit, you'll be fucking gone. God won't fuck with you. St. Peter won't let you in. Right? None of the angels will let you in. They'll kick your ass and tell you to fuck off to hell. You all think the heaven's all nice and nice. No, it's not. It's a secured place, the most secure place in the universe. If you get in there, you can do things to start sucking the universe up. So we don't just let anyone in. Okay? And you got to get in there by following the rules. You're going to be down here on earth and carry on like the big fucking idiot you are of your sexuality. When you get up there and start carrying on, I hope you do. Because we don't need you up there in heaven. Right? And he'll flush you straight down to the shit house where you belong. This is no joke. Stop with this teaching. Stop trying to change him in your mind. Stop trying to change him that he's going to help you. Because you love, we in love. No, no. If it's not love with a man and a woman, right, that's lust. And God doesn't like that. Unless you repent for that. You want to work, carry on with your shit up there? Carry on. Oh, I'm empowered. I put my chest out. Oh, you flush. Go on you go. No chance, right? I keep telling you. You go outside, get some kerosene, pour that on you now, light that fucker up, and that's how hot, close to the rim is before you get chucked into the fire. And then you get chucked into the fire and it burns worse than that for all eternity. That's where you're going to go. Unless you're willing to pull your head out your ass, stop your fucking empowered crap, right? And start to get with the God's program of life. This is that simple, okay? I will not say a man cannot lay with a man, a woman may lay with a woman. You can have that relationship. But quit this shit in the street. Quit this carrying on, put it in our schools. Quit this putting it in front of the children's faces. Fucking stay right away from them. Until you learn to work out that what you have there is a mental disorder, and we allow you to function in this country and this world because you have a mental disorder. So we've got all these people with mental disorders running around. When it collapses, don't blame anyone but yourself. We allowed these mental cases to run around. When they did all the tests, they did all the tests. The government was looking for that homo gene because they wanted to find a cure. You understand that? Have you got that one? Why would they actually try to find the homo gene? The homos never did. The lesbians never paid for this. The straight government did. Why? Because like the rest of diseases, they want to fucking get rid of it. So they were looking to see whether it was genetic. Because if it was genetic, then we're born with it. We can't get rid of it. We'd have to try and change ourselves genetically. But it's not. It's a mental disorder. Nothing more than that. The only thing that they can find, anything within the body genetically to make you any that way, make you even close, but they can't even prove it is that when you was in the womb as a boy, you got too much estrogen. And when you was in the womb as a girl, you got too much testosterone. And that's it. That's all they could find. And they're not even sure whether that's what does it. Okay? You'll find a lot of these people are subjects of what's happened to them and their environment. They are not born like that. I was watching on YouTube not long ago this big muscly guy with all tats. It looked like he wanted to put his thing in his own son, which is now a daughter, apparently. Oh, he started saying he was transgender when he was 6. Bullshit. Who's teaching that kid the sexual mind at the age of 6? That's way too young. Why are they thinking about sexualizing themselves at 6? I told you, pedophilia is coming. It's here. You got 6-year-olds that are supposed to be transgender now. They know all about the sex. No, the child's mind's not developed through their 10, for a start. Okay? For a start. And that's just it. Don't ever think that you can say, oh, my child knows. No, they don't. You're promoting that. You should be hit in the head with a shovel and buried in front of your child. You sick, twisted individual. The moment I seen that man, I wanted to knock his lights out. How dare you promote your boy like that? You didn't think that boy. You made him that way. And I'm getting sick and tired of this bullshit. Oh, I felt like that. Well, if you felt like that, then you should have got some help. But I want to save your souls. And that's what it's got to do with saving souls. Okay? There's rules to this game. If you don't follow the rules, you don't get into heaven. Sassy pause. What's going on here? I'm sitting on the beach. That's what I'm doing, Sassy pause. Sitting on the beach, all by myself. Miles and miles of beach, all by myself, next to the water. Next to the grain terminal, where they're filling up all the grain, all the fish are in there. Sharks are swimming around there too. Lots of sharks. If I sat here long enough with the light on, we'd see the fins going past. Yes, let's come down here, get down to the oceans of life. That's where it all come from the ocean. More life from a drop in the ocean. Go out there, get a drop of that ocean, check under a microscope. More life in that little one drop of the ocean than you'll find in half the universe. We're a very special planet. Every part of it breathes life. Even the sun. That would have little microbes in it. Some little microbes. But you go and grab the sun from another planet or a moon, and it's barren. It's very upsetting in a way. It means that we're all alone. Technically, they haven't come out and openly admitted that aliens exist, even though they've got them. That's another thing, like the KGB, like the CIA, collect information. The KGB have got 74 registered alien types. You know? They talk about catching ones in Brazil. They talk about they caught one over there in Sydney. You know? All kinds of things. That's how I know about Down syndrome. There you go. Down syndrome. People blame Satan for a lot of diseases. That's not a Satan disease. That's an alien disease. Okay? Humans have 48 chromosomes. Or 46 or whatever chromosomes. Right? Well, when you have Down syndrome, you have two more. And yet when a Down syndrome person, you ever seen a Down syndrome lion? Because they do exist. They look exactly like the Down syndrome person in the face. Okay? You know how Down syndrome gets into the body? It's genetic. It's inherited into the body. But that means that that family, somewhere along the line, has made love to an alien species called the Juro. The Juro, a big, fat, stinking slug-type creature, like a half a man, but got a slug back, like legs with that fat they just can't walk. They live under the ground, apparently in a chamber under the earth. They like laying with women. And they have those extra chromosomes, and that's where you get that from. Okay? You go to the medical industry, you ask them, where does Down syndrome come from? They won't tell you, but they'll look very funny. They'll think, gee, how come he's asking that question? No one's supposed to know that. And then you put it to them. Oh, isn't that one of those alien diseases where they've had to crossbreed with a Juro? I said, your Down syndrome. They don't tell you these things. They're not going to tell you that. You might not believe me. I don't really care. I know it's true. I know it's dead true. You know? Very true. A lot of things happen in this world. A lot of things. Those missing children. Where are they all gone? Will they go into those underground cities, those underground train lines, and ship them under the ocean to somewhere else? The world is already connected up like that. The super rich have it. Elon Musk has already said that they've got this chamber down there, turns on gravity and shoots you through. My father said that if we can concept it as man, concept it as women, then it's more likely it's already been built. I mean, gee. Well, minute 17, my bum's really cold on this sand. I can give you the tip. It's almost frozen. I can feel it's going numb. Comfortable, oh, very comfortable. It's going numb because it's cold. And I don't want to waste this battery. And yeah, I think I've been alone enough. Sitting with people here on the beach by myself, talking to a phone with a microphone with a mask on. Yep, sounds crazy. But I'm not. Not in the slightest. I wish I was. That's just the thing. I wish I was crazy. I wish I didn't know any of this, all this stuff that I talk about. I wish it really wasn't true. They put a straight jacket on me, chuck me in a padded cell, and I have a nice sleep for a whole week. I don't have to worry about anything. That's why I went to the psychiatrist. I went to the psychologist. I told him exactly like I've been telling you. They just put their hands back like this. I said, well, all we can say, Mr. Akbar, is that you've got a very crazy situation to deal with, but you're a very sane man. We can't help you because you're not crazy. And what you say to us, well, you're convinced is real, and you've convinced us is real. Because it is. It's like if you want to go on my posts, I posted a letter. I posted what letter I sent to the government, word for word, and I posted their receipt that they sent back. They wouldn't acknowledge me at all if I was a nutcase. No, they said we'll send it off to the Indigenous Department, but just remember, Mr. Akbar, it may take a while to compile because it may have to do other departments as well. See, they were smart enough not to put it in the military because it is dealing with the military. Military chasing that one. Commonwealth forces. A lot of money is being spent. But the saddest thing, if I find out the reason why those two drones up the back here haven't grown because they've caught him, well, people, I don't know what I'm going to do then. Because if they've got a hold of him, we're screwed. It means I failed that part of the mission. That means I have to go down another road. It means I'll have to walk out there and get eaten by the sharks to get rid of it. As scary as that sounds, I have to do that. There's no other way. They've got a hold of him. That's it. That's game over. That's terrible. So I hope they haven't. I hope I sit there and he comes up quietly. It'll scare me at first. And I talk to him. I show him what I got in my pocket. He'll shit himself because he knows exactly what it is. But then he'll come back. Now, hopefully I can sit there with him. And soon, very soon, because he's very intelligent. Also got a bit of mental telepathy going on. He will start understanding English very fluently. And I'll sit there and I'll teach him. Teach him about the stars, about the God, about the goodness of nature. I'm going to teach him right. I will teach him not to be evil. I will teach him to be good. I actually can't wait to do that. I reckon that will be quite fun, sitting there with a big giant lizard dragon thing, looking at the stars. I quite like the sound of that. It will be nice to do. Very nice to do. Yes. But if they've got to hold it in, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't go back. Okay? Because it will just lead me back here another day in a worse way. My body will be older. I'll be less chance of doing the job. I go forward right now. I'll go straight into the ocean. Wait for the sharks to take me. And then I can spend 5,000-6,000 years looking for which shark is going to shit out that stone. Or do I go left and sell these stones off for the trillions of dollars they're worth and sit back, rich as stinking rich, but with no soul? And if they got him, well, I can't go right. I can't ride him. Well, it means I'm stuck in the middle. So I hope they haven't. But at the moment, like I said, I go forward. My boys, I walk straight out there now into the water and let the sharks have their way with me. If I go left, I will sell these things in my pocket and I wouldn't care about the road and I sit back and I could be a fucking rich man. Going to get a jet ski and a yacht and buy myself 10 women. But I would have no soul. I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. And I'll only be going to hell. I think God wanted me to ride this thing all along. And I don't want to be that bad guy. Because it means I've got to hurt a lot of people. And I don't want to hurt anyone. But you've got to look at it this way. Better I ride it for God than Satan gets one of his minions to ride it for him. And that Revelations says the pale horse rider will come. You got it all wrong. There's no man with no fucking big sickle coming. There's no Grim Reaper that's going to come up. Stop putting the Grim Reaper as calling him death. Gabriel is the angel of death. And he's one of the good ones. And he's a female. He took female shape and form. Okay? That's the angel of death. Gabriel. Not Karen. The one with the sickle, the one with the skull, the one with the bloody thing. He doesn't come out of hell whatsoever. He stays there on that boat, going back and forth across the river Styx, ferrying you to hell. That's his job. Okay, he's not death. He doesn't come for you when death comes. You just die. Your spirit goes on its own. No one comes to collect you, unless you've done a deal with Satan. Or unless the angels want you up in heaven, so God sends them down to bring you. Start getting it right. Get your heads out of this Hollywood shit. Jeez. This actually upsets me and makes me want to cry so badly because you've got it so wrong. People got it so wrong. The knowledge, what they have, is terrible. I do feel like I'm fighting this battle completely all alone. And if I ride that thing, well, that saying, the pale horse rider will come out, and death and all hell will come after him. That's right. That's a metaphor. Not death. Death's not riding the fucking thing. I'm riding it. I am the Archangel Michael. I am not death, but I will kill you. Okay? I got to ride it. It was always going to be me that was going to ride it. Because I'm the only one that's strong enough to make sure the job's done. I don't want to do it. That's 3 billion lives. You know, I will never be loved by anyone on the planet again if I did that. I would just be just as good enough to be as alone for all eternity if I did that. Maybe that's why I've been built so strong. Not to complete missions, not to have the strength of mind or body, but to be strong enough to endure being alone for eternity. Someone has to do it. Use people who all been relying on these angels to come and save your ass. Well, Satan did his work well. He got that imagery in you, and well, now you just got to realize these so-called good angels, we're not going to help you. You have to help yourself, humanity. It's been like that since the days of Noah. You just haven't learned a fucking thing. Satan's got it. Luciferians got it. The rest of the human race ain't got a fucking idea. You're all fucking still waiting for us angels to come down and save you. Well, guess what? You're going to see your angels fall. Okay? We're all going to fall in front of you. We're all going to do the most heinous things and things that you thought that the angels would never do. We are going to do this to teach you as human race a lesson. Okay? Whereas angels are going to fall. You're going to pull down all our statues and you're going to start being responsible for your own shit. You're going to start doing it the way God wants you to do it. You've got to realize we are not coming to help you. God cannot directly help you. He has got his hands bound since the days of Noah. So anyone's got a notion that God can come down and help you, well, get your head out of your ass. That lump in your throat is your nose. That's not how it's working, I'm sorry. Because if it worked like that, the world would be far better than what it is. But it's not. It's evil. It's corrupt. It's twisted. So stop with this bullshit. God is not going to do that. He will not come down here and do a thing unless it is through us. And whether people like that or not, well, that's just tough luck. That's just tough luck. Okay? I can't change that no matter how much you want to be angry, how much you want to change things, how much you want it to be your way. Well, it ain't. This is a battle between good and evil. Okay? And man has the ability to play this chance in this battle for God. But some men haven't been doing it. They've been joining Satan. And some men, like the Luciferians, have been evil men on their own right. Because they know, like the Rothschilds knew many years ago, that man's hand is in control here. Man's hand is in control here. Not God's. Man's hand is in control here, not God's. God bound his hands in the days of Noah when he put up the rainbow. I keep telling you, he's that powerful, he flooded this earth. But he can help us. through us. That's why it has that saying, God only helps those who help themselves. Until you work that out, that means exactly that, then I can't help you getting burnt. Even though the good people out there, you've been praying the wrong way, you've been thinking the wrong way, you've been taught the wrong way, I'm sorry, there's a chance that you're going to go to hell. Because those men that taught you what was supposed to be the good message set you up, lined you up to go to hell. Been doing that church ever since it came formed, ever since it was formulated. Money to be made in the Jesus game. Yes. See, a lot of what I say, people don't believe. People can't have it. People can't have the truth. They can't handle the truth. They don't want to know the reality. God is not like your human woke giant race. He ain't like that. He ain't changing because you want to change. God is not a fucking South Korean non-binary female. Okay? You might want him to be, but he's not. Okay? God's not some big guy with a big white beard that shines out radiance. No one knows what God looks like except Lucifer, who took the name of Satan because he hated the name that his father gave him. So Luciferians call themselves Luciferians despite Satan. Do you understand that? He hates that name. That's why he took the name Satan. That's why the planet Saturn is called Satan. And when the King of England praised the star of Satan, star of Lucifer, which had come from the other side of Saturn or Satan, to the 72 nations of the Commonwealth. That's who he believes in. He's Luciferian. That's another man trying to cut Satan out of his deal, cut God out of his deal. Man's got his hands on this, and these men have known. These are the evil men, most of these evil men in power. No? Trump, he's one of them. Trump's not a Satanist. He's a Luciferian. Okay? That's why he's got his finger on the button. He's got his finger on that God button. You know? The nuclear weapons, that's Luciferian. Satan doesn't need nuclear weapons to wipe us out. Man does. You see? Do you see now how man has manipulated the world? How man's hand has got more to do on this planet than God can at the moment. Because we're supposed to be playing God's hand. Okay? But these Luciferian mobs, these other, Illuminatis and all that there, they may have deals with Satan, but at the end of the day, some of them groups are trying to get rid of him so they can place their own evil there. And they know by using these evil powers, they can be like him. But they don't work for him. He's got three keys. He got three key policies: stealing, killing, and deprave the sex. If it's not one of those three, it's not Satan. So he's responsible for killing and stealing. Okay? Not all the killing, but he's responsible for a lot of it. Yes, well, got to keep a lookout. Like I said, you got that gang. They come up here and they could come any time. Chuck a couple of kerosene on me, light me up for fun. And I will be in that water there, trying to put myself out. I got to keep an ear out because I can hear a car walking up in the driveway up there, Master June's. I got the stereo going. So I'm going to go up there and check my own car in case they try to steal the mag tires. It's like that down here, unfortunately. Like I said, my bum is frozen. And if I keep looking at this water, I probably go into it and do a bad thing. And I don't think you want me to do that. You know, I don't think you want me to walk out there and that's the last time anyone sees me. Because that's why I'm sitting here, you know. I'm thinking about it. As strange as that seems. But that's why I'm here. It's not to bring you here for a life. This is for my life. I'm trying to make a decision. Whether I should just walk out there and be done with it. You know? And I look up one end of the beach, and there's no one there. I look up the other end of the beach, no one there. No one behind me, no one in front of me. Except you guys in the chat. Thank you for being here. The only thing that's keeping me sane at the moment. Yes. Very hard indeed. Very hard indeed to have your heart broken and you meet someone to think that they're going to heal it, only to have them hit the remaining pieces with a hammer and shatter them to sand. That's what it's kind. That's what I think I'm suffering from. No emotion gone out of me because such a broken heart. And you could travel anywhere. You can travel across the ocean, travel up the highest mountain, and go and see that wise man in that cave. You can ask him the question, what do you do with the pieces of a broken heart? And you know what that man would do? He said, that's the only question I can't answer. And he put his clothes on you, and he walked down that mountain, and then you'll be the man on the mountain. And when someone comes and asks you, what do you do with the pieces of a broken heart? You give him that job. That's pretty sad. Spartan bug. That is called the call of void. It's what the evil wants. A sign you are destined for something greater. Well, that too. But I already know about that void, and I already know about that stuff. I'm not really worried about that. That's the last of my problems. My problems are very scary. They can manifest at any time. Time to mend those wounds, and it does all things. Well, when the wounds are invisible, it's hard to heal them once. It's hard to heal all the shit that you go through, all that effort, all that love, all that hardness, just to have your heart drop straight down. And have no one even acknowledged what they've done to you. That's the worst part. No, don't even have the audacity to say sorry. Just watch them get married to another man in front of you, right across the TV. Crazy. But that's the way it is. You know, I was a bit silly, I guess. Maybe I should have forgot love. Forgot trying to find out what it's all about. I should have learned when Kelly died. That's all the love I was ever going to get. And I do miss her very much, but I can't do anything about that now. Come down here, I sit at the beach, I look at the water, and I think and think. I've been doing this for 28 years. 28 years I've put off what I have to do. 28 years I've been keeping what I thought evil in check. No, it's 28 years I've been keeping myself in check. 28 years I've been keeping my soul safe. And after such a long time having these very, very terrible, evil, destructive things, maybe it's rubbed off on me. Maybe I'm starting to lose my mind. I'm starting to turn evil like these things. Well, one of them is the harvester. That's a piece of pure evil. I wouldn't be surprised if that's rubbing off on me. Yes, well, sometimes it's scary down here at the beach. Strange noises. Sometimes you see almost like a head pops up and looks at you at the water. It's pretty scary. I find here, especially when you turn your back on the water tries to come up and snatch you. Very weird, this beach. But I like it because it's so secluded. No one comes here. During the day, it's a beautiful beach. But during the night, different story. Well, I'm just about done. I need to go and get myself a drink. My bum is frozen. I won't go through with this stupid notion of walking into the ocean. Another day. Yes. Well, this is the Archangel Michael. A true Spartan, yes. Spartanburg, you are strong. You have more power here than they do. Well, I do. I'm just an old man. 50 years of age. Tried everything. I'm this good angel. I get treated like shit. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But, like I said, he's all expecting the guys with the wings and that. It can't happen. He's going to have to learn. You've got to do it yourselves. I'm here to help a little bit, and then I'm on my way. Whichever decision I make, I already know I'm going to ride it. I already know eventually I will be this bad guy that kills all these people. I knew that the moment when I went on to Natanya's chat. She said, "What are you doing here?" Because she recognized the name. She said, "Oh, they're going to bind your hands and your feet, and drag you out in front of the crowd." And then she winced, because she knows what they're going to do. So does the governess. When it comes around to it, there's nothing I can do about it. I would have deserved it. But they don't understand. I'm doing it for God. I don't really want to. No, I keep thinking to myself, why did they give it to me? Why did they train me like this? Why did they name me like that? It's because I am the Archangel Michael. That's why. Keep telling people. He's not just an angel, guys. He's an idea. And every now and then that idea will come down to earth and help us out. Last time I was here was just before Alexandria went on his little bit of a empire building. And that was the end of that. Oh, you have a look, listen to what Alexandria did. They don't let you up to that mountain pass. There's a mountain pass up there that they blocked off. Alexandria, and behind that mountain pass was all these demons and strange creatures. They don't let you up that pass. Makes you wonder. It's like the story I heard of Japan during World War II in the Hidden Valley. Oh, my data warning, so I'll be going off soon. Yes, in the Hidden Valley that I have in Japan, you have the Jade Queen that lives in there, and she's a sorceress with many creatures and many, like there's legendary creatures that you hear of Japan. all live inside that valley. And she said to the emperor, I will bring my power out and my things that we have. We'll go to war against this America. And he said, no, no, my highness. If you did that, you would expose your secret. This weapon that they have would kill even you and your magic. And it would. It would threatened. So, to keep that place safe and safe, and stop her from going to war, the Jade Queen, they surrendered. This is a fact. Hitler's second in command, Rudolf Hess, one day walked down, got into a plane, flew the plane to England, and told him everything he knew. And when he finished, he doesn't even remember doing it. Why? Because Winston Churchill had the Celtic mystics place a spell on that man, and they sung him over to them. So magic was at work there to bring that man, because he was going to take over from Hitler. He was Hitler's second in charge. He was his best friend. And then he just gets on a plane and flies to England. That's magic. Okay? That's like that one that Atwood has on his channel, the witch with the constant seance. I believe she's been taught in the Celtic too. And I could feel things from that woman too. So she's got a bit of strength. I don't think she's as strong as Jaguar or Grace. But she does have magic. And if she has that Celtic magic, Celtic runes can be very powerful. Very powerful indeed. But she's there. I look at her, and you know what? I get the impression from her when I look at her face. I know I probably shouldn't say, but when I look at her face, I wouldn't trust children around her. Okay? I would not trust children around that one. That's the type of one that will put something in that child's mind and open it up so a sexual predator can get it. I do not trust that one at all. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. She even looks evil. You know? And I can't see why a bloody drug dealer who sold all their drugs is allowed to be so famous, promoting other drug dealers. I mean, you have a look, all he's got in there is people that come from jail. I bashed this one, I bashed that. Oh, I'm a big, huge man. I used to sell these drugs. We put that one in a barrel of acid. And I have a cigar. Well, thank you for coming to my chat. And yes, good. Oh, so you killed all those people. They killed that whole village in the barrel of acid. Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah, like that. So what you going to do next time? Oh, you're going to kill 2 villages. Oh, that's great. Yep. Just keep rolling that off. And then we'll get my tough guys, I'll get this Archangel Michael threatening me. I'll put on some more of these big tough ones from the prison. Oh, I see, I know all these tough guys. I'll flog every single one of them. Fucking tough guys. Start trying. That's what it is. You have a look. The moment I start kicking up that channel, you watch what he puts up. It's an intimidation thing. He's trying to do it because he's a criminal in the criminal world. What he's doing there, I have no doubt he's probably still selling the shit. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. Okay? Because he's still hanging around the same people. The same people he was hanging around when he was selling all those drugs, he's still hanging around now. The same people. They extradited him from America because he was poisoning America. If I was an American, I wouldn't even watch him. He poisoned your country. Huh? A bald-headed Tom come to your country and poison the shit out of you. Ecstasy is not really a drug that can kill you, but it sends you onto all those other drugs. So he's responsible for that. Okay? Regardless whether it's a plane a passive drug or not, it's illegal, right? He was selling illegal drugs regardless to America, destroying America's culture, fucking America up worse than what it already is by giving it some euphoric thing like this. And look at the name of it, ecstasy. That's what you have when you have a sexual intercourse, yes? You have ecstasy. So it's Satan. Or you don't have to have sex anymore, just drop this tablet. That way we stop the breeding and you can have the ecstasy nonetheless. You see how that works? Satan again. That's a manipulation of life, that one. You have an ecstasy there, you'll go, oh, like to see, like you're blowing on your pants. Huh? You don't need to go and have sex then. You're already off your own head. I mean, wasn't that some of the ingredients that Diddy was chucking in that baby oil? Huh? That tranquilizer, a bit of ecstasy, a bit of this, a bit of that. Rub it on the skin, oh, laying there, out cold. Look what I can do to you. How about that? Oh, we're going to film this. And then before you leave the party, we'll show you the film. I say, now, if you don't do as we tell you, we'll expose to the world that you was actually liking it. You're sitting there going, oh, loving it, as I had my dick in your bum. You like that, but you're not gay. But do you want to keep going like this here and not do as I tell you? Well, the world will think you are. They'll laugh at you. You'll never get another movie again. And that's how he controlled them. That's how he controlled that factor. And the Luciferian mob that he was working for, that's what they wanted him to do. Why do you think the FBI went straight into there and grabbed all the tapes? They got there before the CIA did, because that's information. Now the FBI has all those tapes. They're doing exactly what Diddy was doing to them. The FBI said, right, you don't play ball with us now. You see this tape that we got here of him double banking you? And then they got them all blokes lined up. They even pulled that gorilla in from the zoo. That's you there. You're sitting there. You're enjoying that. Look, oh, that gorilla giving to you. You fucking crying out in ecstasy. That's love there. You love that. You want me to show the world that? You do as we tell you. Right? And then you got all those ones like that. Well, because they're stressed out and under the pump like that, and we got to do this thing that these bad guys tell us because they got this tape. They want drugs. Drugs is what's going to cure them. And that's where Jay-Z comes in. Because that's how Jay-Z's got the thing over them. He's a drug dealer. He always will be a drug dealer. Always has been a drug dealer. It's not allegedly. I will not allege this. He was the biggest drug dealer in Boston. Right? Biggest drug dealer in Boston. Of all types of drugs. Of all types of drugs. Right? He was the biggest one. And he used that money to open up his first studio. And he went from there. And he never give that up. That's why he gets around looking like he's caked off his fucking head on heroin. With his big lip hanging down. Always down like that there. I had that much money. I wouldn't be down. He's that bored and that rich that he'll actually get on a phone and be a troll on Jaguar's chat. That's fucking pathetic. That's a drug fucked unit. When you like that there and you're that rich, that's because you're drug fucked. Okay? You've got something wrong with your brain, and there's something wrong with you. I've seen that clearly with my own eyes. I know there's something wrong with the man. He's an idiot. What man with $2.5 billion in the bank sits there trolling a woman online? What type of man is that? Not a man at all. Okay? Like I said, these women runs him. When people start realizing that Beyonce is the key, that she's the brain behind that outfit, he just sells drugs. Okay? I like to know. I haven't heard him bring out a new album recently. I haven't even heard a single one of his songs in my life. I really haven't. I've never even seen him promoted for a concert. How the fuck is he such famous? I've never heard of the guy. And if I haven't heard of you, then you can't be famous. So what fixes him? How come he's still the number one most paid entertainer when he doesn't even entertain? When was the last album he brought out? You know? When was the last time he did a concert? When was the last time he did a stage show? Yet he's still number one. By Wikipedia, he's still the number one guy. So how is he there? You've got to be able to make music, do things to be there. How's he there? How is he there? You know what I'm saying? Because someone put him there. Because he's got all the drugs. He's got all the tapes and all the dealings and all that. They say, oh, look here, this tape here. Oh, you're buying all that drugs. Oh, look there. Then you got that young girl at the Diddy party with those drugs. Oh, you're fucked. You better start doing as we say, boy. Huh? But the white guy, the white Luciferians, well, they got sick of that shit. And they said, right, it's time to do a bit of culling. We'll cull this off. We'll get rid of all these black people. And we'll make them chew each other out and stab each other in the back and watch the whole entire black music and film industry go gurgler. And they'll have no one to blame but themselves. And we'll just sit back and go, too lovely. We fucking got rid of them black cunts, didn't we? That's what we wanted. We got that done. They did it all themselves. Beautiful. Now we don't have to worry about having them in the industry at all. That's where they're going. Open up your eyes. That's like women being in charge. Women being in charge, being empowered. I tell you now, a lot of them in places they should not be there. Proof of the pudding. Look at Qantas. Qantas had a male CEO. They owed all this money, all this stuff up. Well, over here, you can't really argue and ask a woman questions because they'll put that, oh, I'm a woman and they're being feminists against me. Oh, so we can't even really talk to them. They basically get away with fucking everything. So what do? Qantas is very smart, pisses that guy off, and puts a woman in as a CEO. Now they can't ask any questions where all that money went because they won't ask a woman. Okay? She's not there because she's fucking there because she's good to be there. She's there because she's a woman. When the world finally goes tits up, which it's going to, these women are going to be in charge. And guess who's going to have their head rolling? Guess who's going to get their head chopped off? The Luciferians fucked up the sex again. They got us fucking hunting these women down, locking you up, and putting you subjugated under control. That way you won't be able to stop them raping your children. This is going to happen. It's coming. Until you start to work it out, it's coming right now. It's happening now, right in front of you, now. Every minute of every day, they're doing it now. Evil's not stopping. Evil's planning more and more. More and more manipulation. Every second, every minute of the day. Well, my credit's just about out. I'm just about done for 2 hours. I have to go. I really do. Love you being here, Kiki Eyes. You're my favorite supporter. And thank you very much. You've actually made me not want to go into that water over there. I'm doing it for you, for me, my kids, for God, and even for that sister of mine that betrayed me. But you get that. That's just the way that one is. So, this is the Archangel Michael signing off. And I will catch you soon. God bless. Stay safe. Stay warm. I'm going to warm my cheeks up now because they're frozen. So, I will catch you next time. God bless. See you later.